Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, ShrimadBhagavatam256. As you may remember, Yashoda was trying to punish Krishna. Him, who had no inside and no outside, who is above the worlds and below the worlds, and in the worlds too, who is himself the universe and all the living and non-living beings on it, who, to save humankind, had taken the form of a human being. Him, Yashoda tried to tie up with a piece of string. She bound him up and now began to tie the little boy to the mortar. When she tried to knot the rope, she found it was too short. She got another piece and tied it to the one on the waist of Krishna. Again, after trying, she found that she could not tie him up. Again, she got another length, and the same problem confronted her. The length was not enough. It was short by 2 inches. She did not think what was happening, nor why. She kept on bringing rope after rope, string after string, and all the rope in the house was exhausted, and still she was not able to tie up her little son. A crowd had collected round her by then. The gopis at home were watching her chagrin with amusement. Looking at her and her tired face, Krishna felt sorry for her, and taking pity on her, he allowed himself to be tied up. This entire universe is under his control, and with a piece of rope, Yashoda was able to tie him up. Is it not evident that the Lord can be tied up only with the thread, silken and fragile though it be, which goes by the name Bhakti? Yashoda was fortunate to achieve what Brahma could not, nor Mahadev, nor even Lakshmi. This innocent gopi could grab him in her arms and tie him up to a mortar. Heaving a sigh of relief, Yashoda went inside to resume her duties, saying, "I can have some peace now that you are tied up securely." 160. The twin trees in the courtyard. Krishna sat on the mortar for a while, and he got bored with sitting quietly. He played with the monkeys for a while, and even that game palled after a while. He then began to crawl, with the mortar trailing behind him. He was going on all fours, and he reached the front courtyard of the house. Some boys were playing at some distance. Otherwise, there was no one around. Krishna saw 2 big trees growing together like they were twins. They were Arjuna trees. Krishna paused for a while, and then he went between them. He crossed the spot where they were joined, but the mortar got stuck. Krishna pulled the mortar along with him while crawling, and he went on without looking back. There was a sudden noise. The trees had been uprooted by the mortar, which Krishna had dragged along with him. They fell to the ground with a crash. Out of each of the fallen trees there arose a glowing form. The 2 fell at his feet and said, "Great is our good fortune. The curse of Narada is now ended, since your gracious feet touched us. We are now pure enough to go back to our abode in the north. We can go back to our father, Kubera." They then vanished from the earth. The curiosity of Parikshit was aroused. He said, "My lord, please tell me the story of these 2 sons of Kubera. Why did Narada curse them?" Shuka said, "I will tell you. Kubera, the lord of wealth and the guardian of the northern quarter, had 2 sons by name Nala Kubera and Manigriva. These young men were strong, good-looking, and naturally rich. It goes without saying that as a result of these blessings, they were arrogant. Once on the banks of the celestial Ganga, which was flowing at the foot of the Kailasa mountain, these 2 young men were sporting with their women. They had taken too much of the divine drink by name Varuni, and they were deaf and blind to the world outside. They were sporting on the waters of the Ganga like a pair of wild elephants with their harem." Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.